So it's with great pleasure that I bring to you Tony Culler.
What a beautiful day. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
We are a free people, and we were blessed to be able to live in America.
Amen.
But history teaches when a people are willing to give up the means to defend themselves, they are beaten. They are conquered. There is an expression of giving up the ghost. What that means is to surrender, to give up. When you give up the ghost, you are ready to die. My middle name is Patrick. My namesake is Patrick Henry. And let me tell you, this free and proud American is nowhere near ready to give up the ghost. What is the Second Amendment to you? To me, the Second Amendment is man's assurance of our God-given right to defend ourselves, our liberty, and our property. 200 years ago, some very wise men got together and they put together the Constitution. They knew what it was like to have their rights taken from them. They understood it well. We speak in theory. Well, my family does not speak in theory. I understand fully what it's like to have your constitutional rights taken away. But when they put that together, they knew freedom of speech. You had to have it. But you have to have something that can back it up.
Right.
The Second Amendment is what backs up that right. I see the Second Amendment as the amendment.
That's right.
It's the one amendment above all others that protects all of our rights of life, liberty, and property. President Theodore Roosevelt had a great saying: speak softly and carry a big stick. Don't boast, but you stand ready, as the Boy Scouts taught me when I was younger. Be prepared. Keep that preparation. The thing that our forefathers knew was necessary is we had to maintain the ability to defend ourselves.
That's right.
Otherwise, we lose everything. Later on tonight, y'all will leave here, you'll return to your homes, you'll have dinner, and you'll go to bed. And if, at around, say, 3:15, middle of the night, you hear glass breaking and someone breaking into your home, I want to ask you, which amendment are you going to reach for? There you go. That's it. Hey, you can say the Fifth Amendment's important, so you can sit there and remain silent and wait for them to come get you. You can speak of any rights, but there's only one that intruder is going to respect, and that is that you prepared yourself. You held true, and you kept your Second Amendment rights strong. It's been a lot of hoopla lately about going for the gun grabbing, going for the high capacity magazines, and going for it. Oh my goodness. Scariest thing of all are those black and sometimes camo pieces of plastic. That's some dangerous stuff that we've got to get rid of. Gun people call those stocks and forearms. But they are scared to death of that plastic. I'm not saying that they don't want to ban those things. But what I believe, personally, I think it's a big hoax. I don't think they're after that. I mean, they are, but that's not their agenda.
Right.
I believe it's all a ruse. What they are after is what is called the gun show loophole. And in that, We have stood strong. They haven't given up. They're still going to fight us. But let me tell you where they're going with the gun show loophole. Right there. The children. They're going to the next generation. And here is how they're doing it. It's a Trojan horse. But before I do that, I want to offer a small piece of advice. When you're debating an issue with someone, never use your opponent's terms. They came up with gun show loophole. We didn't. They did that. It sounds like a technicality. It sounds like this. It lowers our strength of our argument. Well, I came up with a replacement term. I say gift of freedom.
That's good. Yes.
Can you say that with me?
Gift of freedom.
You see, that's much better because we're not going to give that up. We won't give up our gift of freedom. And here is how the deception works. They get us separated. Not everybody goes to gun shows. Not everyone buys AR-15s. It's divide and conquer. So what they do is they separate us. And they say, listen, we need to cut that out. You have to give us something. Well, see, the whole trick was we're going after all this stuff like in 94. They don't have the strength to pull that off. So what they're saying is, give us the gun show loophole. And here's what it does. When I was younger, my father passed an heirloom rifle onto me, a little .22. If they get their way, I will not be able to pass that to my children. They are saying it's the gun shows and everything. What they're after is they want registration. They want you to go for a background check on every gun. So if any of you are planning on passing a gun that was your grandfather's and your father's, and you're planning on passing on, you better be prepared to take your child to the police station to get them fingerprinted, get them a background check, and to leave that heirloom with the police while they register that and wait to see if you can have that gun that belonged to your grandfather. That's as un-American as you can get.
Yes, sir.
You cannot stand for that. And that's the trick in this. Another funny thing is, have you ever noticed that they say, we don't keep any of those records. We don't keep any of the serial numbers. We don't keep any of that. How is it on every single shooting they track back the lineage of that gun better than you can Barack Obama? How is that? Somebody's not telling the truth. I think they're keeping some records.
Breaking the law.
That's it. This tradition is real simple. Laws are passed to make us criminals. If you say, I'm not following that, I'm not following it, I will give my children my guns. Well, what they can do is one day, if they ever want to target you, they can come to you and say, hey, we passed a law. Did you do the background check? Did your father? Did you? If you didn't, they will have you. And that is the gotcha on this thing. It's a Trojan horse. And the people that are using this Trojan horse to deny our God-given right to defend ourselves, they're absolutely despicable. That right is ours. And how low are they willing to go? You don't have to look any further than Biden or Obama. And you'll see the depths of depravity that these people are capable of going to. They are using the school shootings
Yes, they are.
to continue their agenda. They are willing to go to the halls of the schools where our babies, and they are our babies. They are our children. They are American children.
Amen.
They are going to those halls, sopping up the blood, holding it up to the world, and they're saying, this is why future Americans will not have the right to defend themselves. They are using it against us. So let me get this right, Mr. President. Mr. Vice President, you have your way. I will no longer have my God-given right to protect my life, my liberty, my property. You have your way. You get this accomplished. I will no longer have the right to defend my wife and my 4 daughters. The hell you say? Friends, I'm not ready to give up the ghost. Not by any means. I'm not ready to give up my God-given right. No government gave me this right. God gave it to me upon conception. That I have the right to defend myself. But do you know what this proud American is ready for? I'm ready to carry on a tradition. I am ready to carry on the tradition of giving to the next generation the gift of freedom.
Freedom. Amen. Yes.
Thank y'all for coming out, braving this cold weather. And do me a favor, do us all a favor. At midnight tonight, don't let this day of resistance end. Continue it. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless America.
Amen. Woo!